Hey guys. Lots of you are asking me, what's the hack for the weight loss? And it's monitoring your glucose. You can do it two different ways. I'm going to show you this way, and then I'm going to take you upstairs and show you the other way. I should have brought it back downstairs, but I am really working on solving a blood glucose. You may have a normal one. Yours may be out of control too. You don't know until you start checking it. And my yearly glucose has always been normal, always. Okay, so don't use that as a, oh, my glucose is fine. If you're overweight, your glucose is not fine. Your insulin is too high. There's an issue somewhere. I'm not saying you're diabetic, but your glucose is probably too high if you're overweight, probably. Okay, so I do a monitor, a continuous monitor, so I don't have to stick my finger all day. These used to be so expensive. Dexcom went over the counter with these. They're $89 a month. I mean, come on, you guys. You're not going to eat for 3 days at a time. You're going to be skipping meals, going to OMAD, some of you. Really, I mean, I would invest in this for at least 6 months so you know what you're eating is and how it's affecting you. For instance, and I said in my last live, I used to think diet lemonade was okay. And when I got one of these on me, I realized it was spiking my blood sugar well into the 200s. There were some things that were safe for diabetics that I was eating that was spiking my blood sugar, and I didn't know it until I got one of these on. Okay, so if you really want to know what is happening to your body when you eat, when you get stressed, I can be stressed. I can have an interaction with a family member or a friend or hear something devastating, and I can see my blood glucose going up in real time. It's so impactful to know how stress, sleep, sometimes weather, hydration, movement, and food is actually affecting your insulin level, and insulin is what's making you fat. Okay? It's insulin and cortisol. Those are the top two hormones. So if you don't get control of cortisol and insulin, then you're never going to get control of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, because these are the drivers that F with these, okay? Menopause makes you insulin resistant. Menopause makes you insulin resistant. So your body's pumping out insulin. Your receptors can't gobble it up. Extra insulin is stored as fat. So if you don't use that hormone, it will be stored as fat. Extra cortisol from stress is also stored as fat. And those two hormones, that fat is stored in your belly. Your body wraps that little toxin up and sticks it right in your belly. So if you have belly fat, it's insulin and cortisol. And you can keep poo-pooing and saying, oh no, it's whatever. Keep telling yourself the story that my lab work's normal. The doctor says I just need to have hormone replacement. Bullshit. If you add more estrogen and progesterone to your body and you still haven't solved insulin and cortisol, you're going to keep getting fat. And you don't have to be in the medical profession to understand this. Pick up a book, start reading, learn. Everything you want to know is in a book, on YouTube. Follow some people. Learn how your body is working. If you are 10 years before your last period, which everyone here is, and a lot of you don't know, I didn't know that I was in premenopause. For the last 10 fucking years, I would have done so many things different if I had stopped and said, oh, you know what? I think I'm probably in premenopause. No, I was still having a period. I was like, oh, I'm not even anywhere near. No, premenopause is the 10 years before your last period. 10 years. And menopause is after you haven't had a period for a year. Okay, so most of you, unless you're 30, are probably in premenopause and or you're already in menopause, okay? Menopause makes everybody more insulin resistant. A little bit of DNA and bad choices are going to be the difference between whether you get kicked into a true insulin resistance, which by the way is type 2 diabetes. So people are like, oh, I don't have type 2 diabetes. I don't have diabetes in my family history. You don't have to. Just eat shitty and too often and you're going to have diabetes. It doesn't have to be in your family history. It's not something that you inherit. It's poor food choices too often during the day. That's what type 2 diabetes is. It literally insulin sensitivity. Now we all know, oh, I don't want to take this medicine because I don't want to get resistant. Oh, I hear this all the time. Oh, I didn't want to take that because I didn't want to get resistant. I don't want to develop a resistance. But y'all eat sugar like crazy. You're developing a resistance. And then your hormones are just driving it home and effing it all up. Okay, so here's what I do. And yes, you know what? If you don't have the money to do something like this and you feel like you need it, I'm going to put it on this side this time. Then I highly suggest that you create some extra income in your life so that you can have the health that you deserve. I'm going to be 52 next week. Shoot. 52. And I'm not on any medications. You can tell me everything you're doing is working. And if it is, keep doing that. Don't do anything different. If you are at your ideal body weight and you are not on medication, keep doing whatever you're doing. But don't come to me and tell me what you're doing is better if you are not at your ideal body weight and if you're on medication. Just saying. So here's how we do it. Make sure you don't have any lotions on. I did accidentally put firming cream because I like to keep all of this nice and firm. I did put firming cream, which by the way is on sale. I have it in a bundle. I'll drop that link down below if you want it. If you're losing weight or if you're planning on losing weight, get some firming cream. Plus the hydration is unmatched. Okay, so let me just really wipe this down. You want it, this one stays on for 15 days, 14 days, whatever. So you really want it to wipe on and get nice and sticky. So, and then I use alcohol right here to dry it off. We're gonna let that dry. And so I'll show you the one I took off. Well, I don't have it, but it goes in with this thing. I don't know if you can see here. There's a needle in here, but that's not what stays in your body. The needle pushes a capillary in and then that stays in. And it's a capillary tube you can't feel. You can't really even feel the needle, to be honest. I mean, we're all fat right here. Okay, I wouldn't put it on, you know, a bone, but you're supposed to put it on the fatty part of your arm. I just rubbed that really hard. That's why it's all red. So this is the one, this is my old one. And there's some other videos in here where you can just look up CGM or continuous glucose monitor to see what it looks like when you pull it off. It's this little teeny tiny little spike and you can move it around. It's really bendy, it doesn't hurt, but this is how it looks when you start it. I've prepared the area. Of course, my skin is clean. We're gonna open it up and then there's a little needle, if you can see it at the top there. So I like to make sure that that's going along the same line as here. And then you put it right here and you press hard. Now, if you guys are used to, I didn't even feel it. It sounds loud, but I didn't even feel it. And then it's on, okay? It's red because I rubbed it and I have a little bit of sensitive skin. So then you're gonna hold it. And I try to get it where it's not gonna be knocked. Like if you go against a door frame or whatever, this could have probably been a little bit more medial, which means toward the middle if you're not in healthcare. So it could have been a little bit more here. But I also you want to have it where if you're, wearing, a sleeveless top, which by the way, if you use your firming cream, you can wear that more, then you're not going to see it because, and then people can see it if you turn around. So in the summertime, people see it. You know what? I don't care. It's actually a little conversation starter. And they join my group and end up being a client usually. So there you go. So then you just rub your finger around the edge. And then I have an app on my phone. It's free. And you connect to your app and then it starts warming up and it hooks up by Bluetooth. So it comes with this other little sticky. And I'm gonna look over here while I do this. It's easier if you get somebody to help you, but I've gotten pretty good at doing it by myself. And then I just put this on. This is like a Tegaderm situation. And I mean, even in the summertime, if I'm as long as I'm not in a hot tub, I can swim like this. You can wear it in the shower clearly. And then this comes off. I'm usually trying to do it and make a video, and then it comes off, and then I just rub off the edges. So this is how I do it. I wear it like this because it stays on for 7 days. And so, it really will stay on just like this for 7 days. I use it like this, but then after about a week, this gets real ratty looking. And I work out, I go to Pilates, and I just, sometimes I'm wearing like this around the house or whatever, and it starts to look, you know, it just gets fuzz on it or whatever. It starts to look a little ratty. So I have a glucose monitor patch that I put on top of it. Let me see if I can come into my closet. Let me see if it's where I can grab it real quick. Oh, here they are. So I have these, and I put this on it, but I don't put this on until about a week in, because these kind of get frayed. This one's nude colored. It kind of gets frayed, and this doesn't really last for 15 days. So like halfway through, I'll reinforce it with, I'm going to take you upstairs and show you my other monitors, what I use, when I don't have this monitor on, because I don't wear this all the time. If I know I'm going to do things and eat things that I'm not supposed to, I'll take it off, or I'll let it stay off. So hold on one second. Make sure Bo is not here. Are you on a call? Oh, I'm just making a little video quick. When you both work from home. Okay, so I keep this one in the kitchen. So I have two other ones. This is what I started with. Let me see if I can undo it with just one hand. I started with just a regular monitor like this, okay? All of you know somebody who has diabetes or an older person, and you can just grab this for free from them, and then you'll order the strips from Amazon. You don't have to have a prescription to order the strips. I mean, I think the strips are like $30 a month or something. That is a glucose monitor, and you can monitor your glucose in the morning, and you can monitor it 2 hours after every meal, and you'll know what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating. It'll literally tell you. It'll tell you when you should eat. So in order to lose the weight, I didn't eat if my blood sugar was over 100. If I wanted to lose weight, I would let it get down into the 70s and 80s, because that's a fat burning mode. I could literally just dial it in. I could say, oh, I'm not in fat burning mode yet. I'm not going to put food in my mouth until I get there. And then we do these long fasts to get your body into fat burning mode. And then we pay very close attention to what we're putting in our mouths. You guys, I'm 114 pounds. I'm not trying to lose weight anymore. I'm fasting for health, for autophagy, to grow stem cells, kill cancer cells, and anti-age. That's why I do it. And it maintains my blood glucose, because mine's a little touchy still. So another one that I'm actually switching to is called Keto Mojo, and Dr. Mindy Peltz actually recommends this one. This one monitors blood sugar and ketones. So if you're really trying to lose, which I'm not, to be honest, I'm not trying to lose any more weight, it'll tell you and give you a really nice ketone level where you want to stay in order to be in that fat burning. I mean, for me, if your blood sugar 70, 80, you're burning fat, believe me. So that's this one. And it has two different strips. I only have one right now, but it has a blood sugar strip and then a ketone strip. And so with one finger prick, you can do ketones or blood sugar. So if you're trying to lose weight, this one freaking thing is sticking up everywhere. It just bothers the enemy. Sorry. Curly hair problem. If you're trying to lose weight, maybe the Keto Mojo is better. If you're just getting started and you know somebody who has one of these for free, this is going to be your cheapest option. And then the third more expensive option is going to be the Stelo, STELO.com. And these used to be $250 a month, and now they're $89. So seriously, grab them. They're amazing, and they will really tell you, and it's going to be the hack that you need to know. Should I be eating and should I not be eating? Because I promise you guys, a lot of you are getting up and your blood sugar is over 100. If your blood sugar is over 100 and you eat, you are putting on weight every single time you do that. I mean, it's just math. Your body needs no more glucose and you're feeding it. So it doesn't matter if you eat a salad. It doesn't matter if you drink a freaking weight loss shake. It doesn't matter if you're Optiva. It doesn't matter if you're eating Jenny Craig. Whatever you put in your mouth is going to get stored as fat because you don't need any more glucose in your body. 100 is it. So like this morning I woke up, mine was 109. So did I eat? No. I drank coffee and I won't eat until I get into the 80s or 90s. I'll definitely wait until the 90s. But, you know, depending, when I'm working up to a fast, because we're going to do this 3-day fast, I usually will eat when I'm in the hundreds, low hundreds or high 90s, because I want to gain a couple of pounds before I go into the fast, because then I know I'm going to lose the couple of pounds. And that's how I kind of maintain. I've maintained my goal weight for almost a full year doing this. So I promise you, it is the solution. And it tells you exactly what's going on in your body. When your glucose is high, your insulin's high. When your insulin is high, you are having inflammation. You are damaging your cells and your body. You are literally damaging your eyes. You are damaging your blood vessels. You are causing massive inflammation within your whole entire body. Just do a Google search. How does insulin harm a body? It doesn't matter if you're injecting your insulin or if your body's making it. If you have too much insulin in your body, it's bad. And the reason why you have too much insulin is you're putting food in your mouth. It doesn't even matter if it's sugar-free. For instance, these that everybody loves, that I used to love, these spike your insulin. This is a sugar-free, naturally flavored, sparkling water. And it will spike my insulin because the natural flavor has sugar in it, and they don't have to tell you because they're not mandated to tell you what's in the natural ingredient. So they can hide whatever the fuck they want in there. Literally, look it up. LaCroix has a huge lawsuit right now. So the only way for you to really truly know what's going on with your body and how food is affecting it is to monitor your blood sugar. It's like the best hack I know. And if you can get your blood sugar under control and keep it under control, you will not be fat and you'll be so freaking healthy. So healthy, because most of the diseases, in fact, when I was in school, if I had to do any guessing, and diabetes was one of the answers, like what causes this disease, what causes this disability or this disorder, if diabetes was down below and I guessed it, it was always right. Type 2 diabetes is insulin resistant. If you are insulin resistant, if your doctor has told you that you need to be on metformin or you're insulin resistant or you're pre-diabetic, you're already at freaking risk. And it's completely reversible. You don't have to take a medication. If you are type 2 and on insulin, you can also reverse that. Now, it's going to take a real long time and you're going to have to work really closely with your insulin, but you can reverse it if you're type 2. If you're type 1, none of this. None of this if you're type 1. If you're type 1, your pancreas is damaged and you no longer produce insulin at all. So if you're type 1, hop off. Type 2, you can reverse it. Go read your book and learn it. And if you are pre-diabetic, menopausal, which is insulin resistant, fat, or your doctor told you should be on metformin, or you're thinking of Ozempic, this is Ozempic right here. This is all natural Ozempic. Way cheaper, works faster, doesn't make you sick. You're not gonna have diarrhea and throwing up. Doesn't increase your risk of fucking pregnancy. Do you guys know Ozempic increases your risk of pregnancy? There's all kinds of Ozempic babies being born right now. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Grab one of these if you want to use it. Highly recommend you grab a glucose monitor from somebody. Call your mama, call your grandma, and ask him, do you have an extra monitor I can have? And then buy your strips and start that. That's what I used to do. It's totally doable. You're gonna stick your finger every morning before and 2 hours after your first bite of every meal. So before you eat, and 2 hours after your first bite. And we're gonna monitor those numbers, and that's gonna tell you what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat, how often to eat, how much to eat, all the things. Everybody's gonna be a little different in what they can and can't do and what affects their numbers, but most of you don't even freaking know what your numbers are. You're like running blind out there, doing all this working out and all this stuff trying to figure out why you can't lose weight. Well, it's right there. It's in the blood. It'll tell you. So if you want to use that hack, highly recommend it. If you're not trying to lose weight, but you are struggling with blood sugar, also highly recommend it. Do not wait for your doctor to tell you that you need to do it. Guess what? You're in charge of your health. You get to do. Now, if you are seeing your physician and you do have some blood sugar abnormalities, you can ask for a prescription for one of these and it could be covered by your insurance. I don't use insurance. Everything I want is paid for by me. I don't have to wait for somebody to approve or unapprove anything. If I want it, I go out and buy it. So if you want to see if your insurance will cover it, get your doctor to prescribe it. But honestly, this is $89. I mean, your copay is probably $50. I mean, for another $30, you don't have to wait on your doctor. Just go get it. Stelo, STELO.com. That's the cheapest one on the market. It's made by Dexcom. It's one of the most popular CGMs on the market today. They went over the counter because they know how important it is for you guys to start monitoring your blood sugar. I've been doing this for almost a year. It's the hack that you don't know. Go grab one. Let me know down below if you have any questions. Bye, y'all. I will see you on the 13th to start the fast.